All right, here we go. This is a playthrough of the Surge. I've already played through it before, a couple times actually. I think I played through it the first time. I'll kind of talk about a little bit what happened as I go through a new game here. Yeah, here we go. Here's an example. Here's my first playthrough, and a bug happened to me, which I'll show a little bit later what happened. Or actually, you know what? I'll just show you what happened now.
Clearance required.
Yeah, so pretty much it's. I'll explain more into it, and then this was just another playthrough after this one because of what happened. So let's go ahead and start a new one. Pretty much, it's a bug with the exosuit after one of the bosses.
The ancient Greeks once said, "A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in." We tend to forget about this, tend to be careless, but we have to rise to the task together. It's up to all of us to sow those seeds, and it's up to us to nurture them towards growth. Creo is not just another company. With Project Resolve, we are building the path to the future. Follow us into a new era, a utopia for all mankind. With every launch, we're healing our planet, restoring its natural shield. A return to the green world we remember, where our children can once more play in the sun. Resolve is not only revitalizing the Earth, but its people too. We've all dreamed of it, and now Creo is making it a reality. Together, we're strong. Together, we can make a change. Unleash your potential with us.
Welcome. I know you're glad to be here. I am, and I'm glad to see ya. Creo, you know who we are.
So
Or at least you think.
pretty much, this guy just talks about what Creo's all about. Pretty much,
It's time to take a closer look.
he's the image of Creo, which makes it fake, I guess. I don't know how to explain that. He's just kind of pulling the wool over your eyes, pretty much. But yeah, so I played this a couple times, and I understand how everything works and what's going on. But it is unique that you're in a wheelchair. It's definitely something new. You know, why is he here in the first place? Why does he want to do this? Is it because he's disabled and he doesn't have anything he can do? I don't know. And it's a little odd too that I'm the only one here besides the security guards. So let me kind of explain what's going on here. Pretty much, this is the heavy class. Pretty much, this is the heavy class, more or less. I mean, it doesn't matter in my opinion. In the end run, it doesn't really even matter because you can do whatever you want. This is kind of like the light. This would be in Dark Souls, because this game's pretty much like Dark Souls. This would be like the Dex, like endurance build, like a Dex build, and then this one would be like a strength build, or like like a tank build pretty much. I don't go that route. I think all this is, or all it does, is it just gives you starting gear. What starting gear do you want?
If you like living life in the fast lane, Creo provides you with the highway to success as a field technician. Light, versatile, state-of-the-art. Gear up and save tomorrow today.
Yeah, see, it gives you a little chip after this cutscene, and you turn it in, and it just gives you some gear. So I think that's all it's for.
Rig installation program running. Program complete. Patient sedated. Initiating surgery. Implanting neural link.
And see, this leaves you with so many questions, you know, like, had Warren been working previously? Did he just wake up like that? He pass out during the surgery and just wake up? You know, what's going on? Pretty much it's just showing you the combat. Alright, so yeah, like it just leaves you here, and you have no idea what's going on. Later on, you kind of figure out that that everybody kind of passed out, and then started turning into these like crazy, like their exosuits started burning out and stuff, and they started attacking everybody pretty much. So this area is just where you kind of learn how to train, and you figure out that your exosuit's broken, and you don't have energy, which there's 3 bars up at the top as your health, stamina, and then and energy, which you pretty much use for other stuff like your drone and just like your finisher moves and all that. So I'm gonna try and get through the first part, and then I'll end it off there, but we'll see how far we get. So these are some difficult enemies in the beginning. That move right here, it just knocks your stamina out. It just stuns you pretty much. See, it just knocks your stamina out. I'm not really gonna try and pick up everything or complete everything. This isn't like a full let's get everything walked through. This is just I just kind of want to show the game off and play a little bit, and just kind of. I haven't really seen a lot on this game, and I kind of just want to show what it's about and what's going on. So if I do forget a spot, or if you know there's something back behind a wall or something and I miss it, sorry. Because my memory kind of sucks, so we'll try and do the best we can here. So this is pretty much in Dark Souls terms, I guess you could say this would be where your bonfire is. The med bays, pretty much where you level up your core, so you can have more implants, you can wear armor and this and that, and you can upgrade your weapons, your armor, you can craft new stuff, which we'll get into a little bit later. All this does is just displays the health over their like your enemy, so you see like a health bar or whatever. This is just your injection. It gives you 80 points of health back every time you use it, and you get 3 of them, I do believe. Yes. It's making me walk slow because it wants me to talk to this to Sarah, I think is what her name is. I'm not sure.
Can you hear me? Are you still there? Your rig has been damaged. Its distress beacon has been triggered. You need to get back into the factory.
I don't know you. I'm surrounded by dead people here. Maybe someone would like to explain what's going on.
I'm sorry, I don't know. You need to get inside. Maybe you can make something to protect yourself. Operations always has a gear assembly.
Well, okay. I'll just stroll right on over to the factory then.
I certainly don't recommend walking, but there should be a maglev station nearby. They're never far from ops.
The rig seems to work for me. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. I mean, I can walk. Huh. Never thought I'd be able to say that again.
Well, that's good to hear, but the power core is damaged. You'll have to find a new one to make your rig fully functional.
On my way.
Be careful. And don't forget to replace the power core of your rig or you're not going to get very far.
So that's the first objective. They tell us we'll get a power rig or power core to fix our rig. And that's it. And Warren talking about being able to walk again is oh, I haven't seen that before. I didn't even know. I wasn't paying attention. That's one of the bosses you have to fight later on. Well, let me explain the leg thing first before I get into the bosses. So, well, there's a couple things I want to talk about, but I guess we'll just whatever. We'll do this one first. So, pretty much, if you see the blue, that is an open body part. So right now he has his arm has armor on it. His other arm does. His head doesn't. His legs do, and I think his body does. But the blue, you do more damage, obviously, because you're hitting him in the face. You're not hitting armor. That's the only thing we can do right now because we don't have our core. Our core isn't fixed. So we're going to have to aim for the heads, legs, the arm. You can do all of them if you want. Combos are really good in this. If you do a bunch of combos, you can do a shit ton of damage. The armor, I'll explain a little bit more once we actually can.
You need to upgrade your power core or replace it, otherwise you ain't getting through that door. If you keep trying to overload it without the proper power capacity, security is gonna end up all over your ass. We've come too far to get caught now. Those implants are worth thousands. This is all to get out of here, man. Don't screw it up.
And that audio log's just kind of explaining what the power core needs. You need it for your energy, but you need it to overcharge shit. But anyway, with Warren's legs, he just said, "Hey, I can walk again." So it makes me think he decided to join this company, this high-speed company to get his legs back, and it makes me kind of think, hey, you did this to be able to walk again. Which this guy drops the core, which is what we need. As I was saying before, with that boss that flew over, the bosses in this game, Dark Souls bosses, everyone knows that they're super difficult. They're some of the hardest bosses in a lot of games, in my opinion, anyway. Wow, this dude's fucking me up. You don't have to fight these guys. I just came over here to get some extra scrap. But the bosses in this game, it's not that they're hard. because they're pretty difficult. It's the fact that they have like certain mechanics about them that make it difficult, is what I should say. And you'll kind of see that a little bit later on. Now we got our power core. We'll fix it real fast. All right, so this is pretty much just explaining how to upgrade your core and why you need to do that and what it does pretty much, and how pretty much tech scrap is the currency. It's not souls. It's tech scrap. So right now we can upgrade if we want to. I got some other implants, and this is what I was explaining before, how this if I put this on, this will upgrade my health, and then there'll be stamina and energy, which you'll be able to see here in a minute. So we'll pop it on. It takes, and you can see up at the top it says core power consumption. Right now I have a total of 10. So I'm using 3 out of 10. This one doesn't take any, and this takes 3. So this will make it up to 5. I don't have any armor pieces on right now, so it's just my exo, because I haven't put the chip in yet to get the armor. So we'll go ahead and level it up just a couple times. There's plenty of scrap around here. I'll go around and farm and get what I need to do.
Connection to database restored. Checking database. Gear voucher detected.
So you put that chip in there,
redeemed.
And then you get a couple of pieces of armor. But the thing is it's not. Oh wait, no. Do you? Okay, yeah, you actually get the pieces, and it's just an arm and a leg. You don't even get a full set. You gotta make the whole set. So pretty much, it's kind of confusing at first, and it kind of confused me because, oh, why can you craft it here but then upgrade it here? It didn't make much sense. So if you look over on to the right, on like the top right, you can see those squares at the top. Well, if you move it over, that just makes it up to like 4. So this is like grade 4. You can see the material down there. It never changes. It's always the same. The only thing it changes is the level of item that you need and how much scrap. So like this one needs like Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4. Pretty simple. And that's everything has its own specific item that you need, but it only upgrades by level, if that makes sense. So say you make like a level 3 leg, and you want to upgrade it. Well, you'll come over here, and then it'll already be level 3. You just gotta level it up to 4. So that it's simple. It's confusing at first, but it's pretty easy to understand once you kind of mess around with it. You don't buy schematics from people. You get it off of the enemies that you fight. So if you see an enemy with an exosuit on or the armor and you like it, you have to actually farm for it if you want it. So yeah, the mechanics are interesting, and they're different, but
Look out for your fellow
it can
workers.
take some time to get something that you want. You'll kind of show later. Now here's a good example to show this. So I have an arm already, and I have a leg. Well, I don't have a head and I don't have a body. So what we're gonna go for, if I can get locked on, we're gonna go for this body part, and you'll see what happens when you wailed on it a couple times. Oh shit, I forgot that he did it a second move. You see the energy bar up in the left corner? As it goes up, you can finish combos. Boom, if you cut, let me kind of explain what happened here. So, if you make it past that bar right there that kind of has like that wings logo on it, you can do a finish move. I believe that's how it works. Because it's always up there, so I'm thinking that's what it's for. So after you get past that, you can do a finish move. Well, here's the thing: you have to beat him down. You have to beat down the piece of armor and break it pretty much. You have to be able to cut him in half. So as long as you cut a piece off of the person, you always get that piece of armor. You'll always get the piece. So like if I want, he didn't have a helmet on again, but if I wanted like a leg, If I beat the shit out of it and I cut it off of him, I'll get the leg. And that's how you get armor in this game. Now, tungsten is something you upgrade your weapons with. The only way you can get it is if you cut their arms off. So let me kind of get a little bit of tungsten here. Boom, cut his arm off. And now I get the schematic for his weapon. Well, I actually do get his weapon. If you cut the weapons off, you get the weapon. And normally he'll drop some tungsten, which he did in that time. But normally they'll drop it. Depending on the area, depending on what level you're on, is what type of drops you'll get. So this I'll get in this area. I'll always get tungsten level 1. I'll get level 1 upgrades for armor. And then like if I get into like a later level, I'll always get like level 3 drops, or it just goes so on and so on. It's pretty simple. Now let me kind of explain why is it still blue. Well, you can utilize that to do more damage, or you can see how my energy went up. I want my energy up for the finisher. Now I'm at the finisher. I'll wail on his head because I want his helmet. And now I got the schematic for his helmet. And you see how that kind of makes sense. You wail on the blue to get your energy up, and then you wail on the piece that you want, and you do a finisher. You cut it off, you get it. You don't cut it off, you don't get it. It's pretty simple. Or if you're just having a trouble time with someone, you just beat the shit out of them in the head because you do more damage, and then you just you go about your merry way. And I could have showed right there what happens if you just beat the shit out of them, finish them, and then not cut it off. What it looks like, but I'll do it here in a minute. Those guys that are gonna lunge out at you here, so you're gonna kind of want to walk back. Now see, this guy, he has all of his armor, I believe. No, he doesn't have his arm. Let's see if we can get some tungsten off of him. But she has a new weapon that we'll end up picking up. No, we didn't get some. All right, so this is a great weapon to use in the beginning. It has high impact, low attack speed, but the energy gain is a lot better than most of them. Well, they're all the same here, but the thing is, you swing super slow, so it's pretty much a hammer. You know, you're just swinging a lot heavier. It does more damage, and it's what I'm going to end up using. But some people might like this. You know, the swing's a little faster. You got more moves. You can do more shit with it. So I believe I have all the schematics for. Oh, broken parts. I'll kind of explain that here in a minute too. Yeah, I have. All you need is one arm, the chest piece, the helmet, and one leg. That's all you need. The schematics for that, because you make both with just one schematic. You don't make both at the same time. You make both of them just with one. So I use it once, I get one leg, use it again, I get another leg. So broken parts is pretty much what happens when you've already got the schematic from the person. You already have the schematic, so I cut some dude's arm off. I got his arm schematic. Okay, well I cut him. He comes back. I cut his arm off again. It'll give me a broken piece, which is the material that you need. And I'll run back, and I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, so as soon as I open this up, it's going to send the material through. So you see on the left, it sent the material through. Okay, those broken parts is what gives you that material. So an arm would give me those pieces. The chest would give me those. The helmet would give me those, and the legs would give me those. They all have special names, but it's easier just to go through the marks. And you might think, oh, why do you keep having 0 for that stuff? You got to go back, you got to move it back down. And I have enough for another arm, and I have enough for another leg, but you also need scrap, so I'll make another leg or another arm. But now I don't have enough scrap for a leg, which is fine. Because I don't know why I keep hitting the start button. It's fine because you get these consumables, which pretty much are just like the crushable, the hard souls, the crushable souls. You know, this one gives you 600 a pop, so you just hold it down, boom, 600. That's 1200 right there. Come over here. I need another leg. Make another leg. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is another thing to explain. You see how core consumption, again, it takes 2. I can't wear it because I'm using up 11 core consumption and I've only have 12, so I need to upgrade my core, which I don't think I can at the moment. Oh, I can. Alright, cool. Now I can wear both legs. Which is that's pretty much how everything works. That's how the whole game works with armor and anything. Surprisingly, I still cut his arm up. There we go. Now we got some tungsten.
Not a scheduled break time.
So let me explain the tungsten now that I got some. You can't craft weapons. I don't believe you can craft weapons. I'm not sure if you can get schematics for weapons yet, but I haven't seen any. You'll always just upgrade it. So now that I've got some tungsten, I only got 3. You need 9. It's usually 9 every time for a weapon. Just a different grade. I need 6 more obviously, but now that the tungsten is what these materials are pretty much. It's just a different type of material. You need 9 of it. Once you get 9, you can upgrade it. Pretty simple. Now say you're farming for a weapon. Say you want that weapon. You can die and come back until the person doesn't have armor on. You'll kind of see later what I'm talking about here. You can die, come back, and the person might not have armor on his arm, meaning you can just beat the shit out of it, stun him, and cut it off and get the weapon. Which it's easier to farm that way in my opinion. And I'll explain that a little bit later on how that works. See, now you're getting kind of overwhelmed here. So you're just gonna say, all right, I'm gonna stick to blue. We'll cut his arm off real quick. Well, I'm trying to go for tungsten anyway, so it's kind of useful for me right now. But in that scenario, you would want to, unless you got a high hitting weapon, you'd want to go for the easiest way to kill him. But most of the time, because this game likes to put multiple enemies in one area and overwhelm you so that you obviously die, most of the time you can aggro them. And I didn't do the finisher that time. I didn't get enough. I got hit. Most of the time you can bring them over to you and then like aggro them over, and then they'll run back to where their AI is supposed to be sitting, and then you can just kind of pick them off as you go. So you'll see these kind of scattered around the environment and things like this. Most of the time, 100% of the time, they open up doors. That's pretty much what they're used for. Back there you saw me jump off of that balcony onto that ledge. I didn't even know that was there. That was kind of an accident. So there's some free tungsten if you need it.
We've had issues with Robert Weave again. This time about the exoskeleton program. He's refused to have the implant surgery. We've explained it's hardly invasive, even offered to double his bonus. But no, thinks management will use it to control the workforce. He even brought up his union nonsense again. If he poisons the others, it could put us months behind schedule. It's amazing. He doesn't see it as making his job easier. I recommend termination. You know, we put up with too much of his trash talking.
you just saw there the weapon efficiency, it just popped up. The more you use something, and it's not just individual weapons, the more you use the certain type of weapon, so this would be like a heavy weapon. I don't know why I keep hitting the start button. This is like a heavy weapon. This would be like this is a one-handed weapon, and so is this. So all these are in one category. So like those two weapons will be in one category. You can see down in the bottom. This would be a heavy weapon, and those are one-handed. Those are what category they're in, and there's other ones too, like two-handed and things like that. The more you use in that category, the higher the bar goes. The better the effectiveness is, the more you get. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it just increases the overall damage that it does and how much stamina it costs and all that. I see I've got 3 of these guys on me right now. This is a good example to show what happens with their aggro. So I've got 3 of these dudes on here. My weapon's too heavy. I'm going to swing too slow. I'm going to keep getting hit. Run back. They'll chase you, but they'll de-aggro pretty quick. And these guys like to jump like frogs. It's a little annoying, but you get used to it. Now, in the beginning, I know I said I didn't like playing heavy. I don't like wearing the heavy gear. I like wearing the light stuff. And you can see later on how it just kind of balances, and it just ends up being the same. But in this area, I like to use to get through them pretty quick, I guess. I use a staff, but we haven't got that for yet. So throughout the levels, you'll pick up implants, and you can kind of go through and see what how you want to build your character. Pretty much, do you want to have a lot of health? Do you want to have a lot of stamina? Do you want to have a lot of energy? Do you want to be able to increase use injectables to increase your the way you fight? This and that. So we can't get through this door right now because one or two reasons. You either need to overcharge a door, or you need to open it from the other side. In that case, in that door, you need to open it from the other side. I don't know. It's just unique. I guess this game is just, it's unique. It's hard, and it's nice to have a game that doesn't hold my hand. Well, I'm not gonna run back just yet. There's a couple more things I want to do. It's pointless to even open this door. I don't even know why I'm doing it. It's like Dark Souls in the sense that it all comes together. This whole map connects. It's one area, but it all connects into one piece. Now over here, you might run over here and be like, what's over here? And this huge ass robot might be intimidating to you, and you'll run away. You don't want to fight him. Trust me, super easy enemy. I'm about to get hit by him, but it's super easy enemy when you figure out what you got to do. These panels on the side, I better move. These panels on the side, you hit. Oh, I think I just died. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. He does a couple moves. He slams, he spins around, and he throws that like crane piece at you. I just said he's super easy, and I just died to him, which is hilarious. There's 3 panels on him. There's one on the front, and there's 2 on the sides. You hit those panels, it'll knock his health down pretty quick. He'll do a slam, and it normally shuts his shutters down. You gotta knock his back legs out, and it'll pop him up. See, now he's doing that move. Let me get those back. See how much damage I'm doing? Now if you're over here just hitting his leg, you can kind of see the difference. Well, I'm hitting his back, so God damn it, I died again. I wasn't paying attention to that guy. But yeah, that's pretty much that's how you kill that thing. It's super easy. That thing was on my ass and it was shooting me. I wasn't paying attention to him. These guys, they drop which I don't know where it's at. There it is. I think. No, that's not it. They drop these like penny looking things, and then they give you a shit ton of scrap. I don't know, it might have disappeared because I died. See, those droids, you know, it's not that they do a lot of damage, they're just super annoying. They're just there, you know? They're just like a fly. Come on, get in there. There we go. Come on. Alright, I was hoping I'd get that swing in. I'll go over the implants that I picked up when I get back. So, this, I know the first area really well because I've ran through it quite a bit.
Great news, guys. We finally got the new gear assembly unit down here. And not a moment too soon. The old one was spitting out worse trash than what you put in. For now, though, you'll have to manually unlock the schematics on your local accounts, at least until they update the interface. The rest is business as usual. You know, pick what you need, make sure you got the proper materials, and hit OK.
Like I was saying, I know the first part pretty well. I've been through it quite a bit. But again, this game is like Dark Souls, so there's going to be enemies that are going to pop out. They're going to be behind corners. It's pretty obvious. You can kind of tell when it's going to happen. There's going to be hidden items behind crates and things like that. Always break the crates. Always go in the places where it doesn't look like there should be something. Just, you never know. There might be something good back here. Like back here, you know, it makes sense to me like there would be something back there. Like this scenario right here. Okay, in my mind, I already know what's gonna happen, but when I first did it, in my mind, I'm like, okay, there's one guy here, but there's a crate there. There's an item there to bait you. You know, it doesn't make sense. There's a guy behind there, you know. I know what's gonna happen for most of it, but what I'm trying to say here is that I don't want to give away a lot of the stuff, a lot of the surprises and things like that, because I mean, I'm not gonna act surprised if something happens, but I might walk into a scenario knowing what's gonna happen, but let it happen just so you can kind of see what they were intending to do. Like that, you know, you wouldn't imagine that was gonna happen. I mean, I told you it was gonna happen, but you never know. But I'll try and see, you know, if I'm like, okay, I know something's gonna pop out, I might just let it happen, just to let it happen. There's another thing I was gonna explain. I'm glad I just did that. There's no fall damage if you jump and swing, or if you jump and do like a stomp or use the weapon's special jumping attack. I guess this is a good time to go through the mechanics real quick before I go in there. You can run, slide, if you hold down the, well, my controls are different, but if you hold down the sprint button and you hit the R1, you'll do a slide and a quick attack. If you just do a quick jump, there might not be an attack on this one. Yeah, there is. If you do a jump and hit the R1, you will do like a, oh, my stamina needs to come back. You'll do like a quick quick attack. If you mix the the heavies in with the lows, you'll do special stuff. Heavies with lows, you'll do special stuff. Now here's something that's it's different. I've never seen anything like this. If you hold down the block button and then you go up, you'll jump. If you hold down the block button, you'll duck, or go down, you'll duck. I've never seen that before. And there are scenarios where you need to use that stuff. The more weapons you pick up, the more move sets they'll have. It varies. You can't go up here yet. This is where we're headed. This is where we're trying to go to the factory right now. Got a couple guys in here, nothing crazy. Like back here, you might think, oh, there's nothing back there. You know, why not try it out? See what happens. Because I can imagine there's a lot of people who miss stuff because you just don't see it, or it blends in, or you don't think there's something there. So there's two ways to go here. There's a downstairs, and then there's an upstairs way. We can't go this way yet, but that way will be opened up here shortly. And I just realized something. I don't think I have a chest piece on. I don't have a chest piece on. I need to start going for that. I believe that gets... Yes, that's how it happens. Okay, there was a dude banging on the door. When you go down, he slams open the door, and that's how you open that. I'll get it. I'll probably just farm it real quick and get a chest piece. When I get done with this area, just to do it real fast. If you can see down there, I have a decent amount of scrap. Not a lot to do with it, or not a lot to use it for. You know, pretty much you dump it all. I dump it all in my core before going to the next area. So that guy's pathing went over to where I was, so he didn't lunge at me just yet. Or yeah, he did. Did he just lunge? Did he fall down? I think he did. Well, that sucks. Alright. That's alright. I don't like fighting that guy anyway. He's not hard. He's just a pain in the ass sometimes. Let's go ahead and dump all this into our bank, and I'll talk to this chick real fast.
You're still here. I can't do any more for you right now. You need to get back into the factory.
Alright, so that's it. That's all that that's it for her dialogue. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a chest piece and a helmet real fast, and I will be back in a second. Alright, so I got the chest piece, I got the helmet. Everything is up to where it needs to be. This is probably the armor set that I'll end with. I could get the Rhino gear if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I'm just gonna keep this until we get to the factory. I'm probably gonna keep this weapon until we get a staff. I can get one pretty early on. I'm hoping I can get one pretty early on. One of the better ones that can pretty much carry you through the game. But I kind of want to point out something. If you see up in the corner where my energy bar is, if you have a full set of armor, if you look down on the bottom right or bottom left, you see like the gear set 6 out of 6. I have the full set on. Alright, now if you look at the gear set bonus, wearing a full set of this gear grants increased attack speed while near full health. While at or near full health. So if I've got a full bar of health, my attack speed's faster, which would be good for a heavy weapon because it swings slow, so it kind of balances it out. Now while I'm here,
Welcome, Warren.
I wanted to point out some of the implants that I picked up. So here's the thing: you can scrap anything. You can destroy it all. You can get it all to whatever you want. like I could scrap all this stuff for some stuff. But the thing is you get two, well, you get multiple of everything. So I have 2 of these right now. Well, if you use one, it's an injectable. Pretty much all it does is it gives you health over time. Well, the more you stack, the more you get. So if I put these 2 on, instead of getting just 3, I'll get 6. If you put these on, you'll get 6 injectables, and if you put this on, you'll get double the time increased health, and that's how it works. The thing is, though, the lower it is, the shittier. Obviously, the higher the color, or the darker the color, the more you get. So this is this implant, which grants me 15 plus health. The more you play, the more you unlock. It'll go higher, if that makes sense. So if right now, if you look at my health bar, and then if I go in here and I put on another one of those, goes up. But I don't want that on there. I want another injectable, and then I want oh, I don't think I have enough for it. Alright, fine, then I'll take that off. Now I have 2 injectables on, and that's where I'm going to keep it at until and this does the same thing for energy. I'm kind of talking in riddles at the moment, but it makes sense the more you play.
Warren.
So now I have one. Let this dude hit me real quick. So this is the first one you get. Gives you instant health. Alright, that's good enough. So this one gives you health, but over time. So that's how those are the main 2 injectables that I keep on. Just over time.
Highest priority and should be yours.
Just over time, I keep adding onto them. So if I put another one of those on, instead of having 3, I'd have 6. So we went that way. Gave us a shortcut. We need to go downstairs now. And this is what I was talking about, the chest piece. It gives you a light. But if you have this weapon, it kind of glows up anyway. You can see the enemies. It's not like they're hidden or anything. But pretty much our purpose down here is we need to restart these generators. The power's down. System lockdown's on. Here we go. There. Now I get to show off this enemy. So. Oh. Shit. I normally don't die this much when I'm playing by myself, but I'm talking, so I'm kind of focused on two things at the same time, so I'm kind of losing my mind, I guess. Alright, so we're back in this room. This guy comes from over here. I don't know why I keep thinking he's coming behind that crate. The reason why I want his weapon is so that I could farm. You can farm a lot easier with those two-handed weapons. I'll show them real quick.
Activated. Sector initializing.
And they're a lot faster. They don't do a lot of damage, but they can.
Sector online.
It's just easier to do with these, I think.
Attention. Security lockdown.
Those are the ones.
Warning. Security systems are now active. No connection to CryoNet at this time.
Come on, quit talking. Those are the ones I use. Here, let me just show why. Alright, so I want his arm. See how it's not doing a lot of damage, but I'm getting up there. I have a better chance at getting what I want out of these than I do with this heavy hitter. Now there's a pair of those later on after a boss that you get that I use. But those are good for now.
We've had multiple accidents in this sector. We have to shut it down and take it to pieces bit by bit. Now I know what you're gonna say, but we've been lucky. We've been able to sweep the previous incidents under the rug. We can't keep relying on luck. I know nobody cares about the grunts down here, but God knows they will care if the media gets hold of it, or worse, the Oversight Committee.
Alright, so didn't see that guy there. He blended in. This door right here, whenever there's a interaction and then there's a light right there with like a ball, you can't get into it yet. Not until you get later onto the game, which is actually where I was. You need an exosuit to be able to get into this. Well, that exosuit's bugged, so if you can't get the exosuit, you can't progress in the game. That's why I had to restart.
We have come into possession of evidence that links Ed Nakana, employee number 776910, to the homicides associated with the individual known as the Liberator. All indications point to the fact that he has deliberately tampered with his neural implant, including disabling its GPS function. Therefore, CreoNet cannot ascertain his whereabouts. While he's at large, he is a serious threat to staff and Creo's image. If this were to get out, we need to take care of this, quickly and quietly.
This area, it's simple. It's pretty. If you're not paying attention, you'll get overwhelmed. But there's a part in this that I'm gonna run through. You're probably gonna die the first time you do it, and I'm not talking about this area. It'll when it comes up, I'll say something.
Help! Let me out! Anyone there?
It's something I've learned in Souls games. It's not to open up doors until everything's clear, and that's why. I knew that was coming. This guy's got the full Rhino gear on. That's what it looks like. He can be a tough one, especially down here. But might as well get his hammer. Why not? And a little bit of oh yeah, I did actually. I got some of that wrecked Rhino. There's an implant there. If you don't think you can beat that guy or you're having trouble with him, it's not really even worth it. Now, we got two ways here. We can go down there or we can go up here. Well, we're gonna go up here first, because down there is where that difficult part is. And as you can see, I've been dying in really stupid ways, so I'll probably die down there. I kind of wanted to explain how my buttons are. I guess I should have did that in the beginning, but I don't know, I might as well just do it now. This is where that door was that I was talking about earlier. So let me go dump my my tech real quick, and then we'll head back down there. Alright, I'll explain my buttons here real quick, how I have them mapped out. They're similar to Dark Souls, and they're a little bit different than the actual game. So I believe dodge is A when you first start. Obviously I changed it to B, so my B button is my dodge button now, and it is my run button too. It can be my jump button if I want it to be. Like if I'm running, I can jump with the two, but I normally jump with the stick. I click a stick. Now that's a kind of a big change. My interaction is my A button now. It seems like a simple change, but to me, the B button has always been the roll button. It's always the jump button. It bugs me when it's not the roll button. Another big change that I kind of did was, and I imagine that's not a big change. I'm sure a lot of people did that, but a big change that I think is the pad. The left pad or the right pad button, it changes, it rotates through your injections. I didn't like that. I found myself constantly always looking down and clicking it, or realizing I was clicking it and it was getting in the way, and I'd get hit or I'd die or whatever. So I changed it to the left trigger, because the left trigger, all left trigger does is change between enemies. So now I can run around I can jump and change. You know, I can attack and change, and I'm not, you know, I can move. You know, I'm not taking my thumb off the camera stick to click the injection button because I don't need to. And that button is now replaced by switching through enemies. And everything else is pretty much the same, but it's kind of something I wanted to point out because it does help. I think it helps to be able to click the trigger for your injections and not the pad. So this area, probably going to end up dying. You're constantly getting hit. You're probably going to want to throw one of your big injections on. Go through here. Pick that up. See if I can... No, I knew I was going to make it. I fucked up. I was getting hit by those. Pretty much, you want to run down there, grab the item, get the fuck out, because there's nothing else down there. You don't want to fight the enemies. If you fight the enemies, you're going to slowly be burned by that toxic waste. It's not even worth it. Make sure you dump all your souls, or it'll dump all your tech, and then go down there. All that was down there was this, not the hammer. That's it's pretty much what I picked up from that guy. But was this? It's a different version of this. It's not as good because I've upgraded this, but I'm about to upgrade it because I'm kind of curious if it is better. 48. That's 46. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go with that one.
Reboot in progress.
As you would guess, there is a boss. Why wouldn't there be a boss, you know? This guy can be tricky in the beginning. Alright, so pretty much what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to stay behind him, make him stop. You're going to use the other leg. Usually does. You always want to stay on him.
Enforce maximum curative measures. Rehabilitation implemented.
Oh shit, he hit me. Normally if you get him hit with those rockets, you can it'll knock him down. You want to knock this plate armor off of him. You want to watch out. He has a couple moves. There we go, we got that plate. Shit, I couldn't dodge. The reason why you want to stay behind him or in the middle of him is because of that move right there. He'll come down and he'll hit you. There we go. There we go. Knock him down and then just start wailing. You want to hit that part. There we go. Come on, can we get it? Yes! Alright. After every boss you get a weapon. We're not going to use that weapon. It's a good weapon, but I don't like it. So I kind of went through him fast. I didn't really show off a lot of moves that he had, but pretty much you want to stay underneath him like I was. You want to get on him as fast as you can. You want to knock those plates off so you're hitting his actual hydraulic legs. And then once he goes to do the rocket move, if you can bait him to do the rocket move, get underneath him, it'll knock him down. Focus on these points up here, and you'll be good to go, because he'll do some moves that are hard to detect when they're coming, and it can be difficult to dodge, difficult to move out of the way, I guess.
Next stop, Central Production B. Personnel arrival.
There's no cutscenes or anything. There's nothing special, which is odd to me. You would think that there would be a cutscene. It's kind of a big, you know, you're going to be in here for a while. The factory, it's a big spot, you know. I've talked about everything I want to talk about. You know, I've explained mechanics and things like that. So the next part, it won't be so heavy on talking about the game. I'll kind of be focusing more on where we're going and what we're doing next. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here.